other than what she gave here, then you haven't been paying attention. She's going to go Sophie Cunningham, and she wasn't going to go Cheryl Reeve. You're going to crush her? Yeah, because she chose to wade into it. I don't talk about these kind of things, so I'm not going to. Game. Here's Riley Gaines, Jennifer Say right here. So did we let our sports and media get so politically? Jeff Dye. I knew that wasn't going to happen. She voted for Kamala Harris. I knew that wasn't going to vote. I knew that wasn't going to.
There's real, ongoing fallout from the Fever Lynx game, the Sophie Cunningham rally outside Target Center, Cheryl Reeve coaching in a Trans Kids Belong shirt, and Caitlin Clark giving what everyone's calling a non-statement when asked about it. That's the actual news cycle here, confirmed by ESPN, the Star Tribune, and the AP, not something invented for this video.
How I'm seeing it is, if I could answer with, like, for me, sports is about belonging. It's about inclusivity. It's about allowing everyone to be their authentic self. I'm big on that just because I have been criticized.
The prediction that Clark was never going to give anything but a careful, basketball-focused answer turned out to be exactly right. And honestly, that's not a hard call to make. She's been consistent about staying out of this specific debate all season, and expecting a sudden pivot here was never realistic.
All the swinging dicks into the WNBA, they're still going to hate you. You're still going to get treated the same way you get that Sophie Cunningham. I mean, honestly, at times I feel like they show Sophie more respect on the court than they do Caitlin Clark. I don't know if that's an age thing. Sophie's played with a lot of different players. Sophie and Brittany Griner are kind of tight, to be honest with you. They played on the Mercury together. Andy Fermel.
Clark is genuinely getting criticized from multiple directions for that answer. That part's real. But I want to flag something up front. You'll hear Natalie Nakase's actual comments get written off as absurd before we even get to what she said. Once you actually hear her full quote later, that framing doesn't hold up well against what she actually said.
I just answered. That was it. That's as far as she was going to go. If you expected something different, you haven't been paying attention to Caitlin Clark. I don't know what else to say. That's a fact. She was never going to wade into this. In a league full of radicals, she's trying to stay in the middle. Good luck. By the way, Caitlin, these players aren't going to.
And here's an honest, fair admission. Wishing Clark had given a more definitive answer either way is a normal thing to want as a viewer, but recognizing that wish was never realistic, given how she's handled every version of this question all season, is the more accurate read.
I guess that's from yesterday before the game. I don't know. Maybe not. That lady can have a sign saying she doesn't like Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham, but Riley and I cannot have a sign saying thank you, Sophie. That's Jennifer Say of XXXY. I didn't think I could dislike anyone more than Clark. Congrats, Cunningham. Signed, Jabba the Hutt. I mean, keeping it real. Sick.
Here's Clark's actual quote, word for word. I think for us, it's not really a discussion we're having in our locker room. I think it's for leagues and governing bodies to work with their athletes to find solutions, but our focus is on basketball. That's a real, measured answer from an actual press conference, not a dodge dressed up as one.
Sides, to be quite honest with you. She's getting crushed. You got Natalie Nakaska, a coach that I liked a lot, going out there making absurd comments Well, Rhodes, you're going to crush her? Yeah, because she chose to wade into it. Caitlin Clark said, no, I'm not. I don't talk about these kind of things, so I'm not going to. And
when a follow-up question came, Clark closed it down fast. I just answered for you. That's about as clear a signal as you can get that she's drawing a firm line on this topic, and it's consistent with how she's handled every similar question this season.
Sorry. He forgets I have a broken leg. Wow, this is so. She's fresh out of bed. Wow, this is fun.
there you go. Obviously, Sophie, I guess that's from yesterday.
The rally scene outside the arena was real and genuinely mixed. Signs reading, "Thank you, Sophie," alongside people with megaphones repeating, "Protect trans women." A real, visible split among fans, standing feet apart from each other outside the same building.
I thought it was bullshit comments. I thought it was disingenuous comments, and it is what it is. But if anybody believed Caitlin Clark was going to give a statement other than what she gave here, then you haven't been paying attention. She was never going to go Sophie Cunningham, and she wasn't going to go Cheryl.
This next clip comes from a separate press conference. Golden State Valkyries head coach Natalie Nakasi getting asked directly whether the Cunningham situation is good for the league or a distraction from the basketball.
All the swinging dicks into the WNBA, they're still going to hate you. You're still going to get treated the same way you get that Sophie Cunningham. I mean, honestly, at times I feel like they show Sophie more respect on the court than they do Caitlin Clark. I don't know if that's an age thing. Sophie's played with a lot of different players. Sophie and Brittany Griner are kind of tight, to be honest with you. They played on the Mercury together. Andy Fermel.
And here's her actual full answer. For me, sports is about belonging. It's about inclusivity. It's about allowing everyone to be their authentic self. I've been criticized for my height, for my ethnicity. I've been told I don't belong many times, and I don't want that space to ever feel like that. I'm all about women, little girls deserving to play, and that includes trans women. That's a thoughtful, personal answer grounded in her own experience, not the absurd soundbite it got labeled as earlier in this video.
If I expected her to come out and be like, yeah, she's going to answer this thing just like Sophie, I knew that wasn't going to happen. She voted for Kamala Harris. I knew that wasn't going to vote. I knew that wasn't going to happen. Even though this is a issue that's an 80-20 issue in the country, and again, they won't tell you there's a massive Democratic faction, a literal Democrat organization that's been attending these rallies in support of Sophie Cunningham. Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, look it up. Look it up.
There's a media claim floating around attributing a quote to a writer calling Cunningham the right's anti-black, anti-transgender culture war ambassador. And the pushback here is fair. Nothing in Cunningham's actual public comments has been about race, and conflating her stance on one issue with an entirely separate claim about race is a real stretch worth calling out directly.
Naomi Osaka and Coco Gauff speak about politics. It's, quote, heroic and bigger than sports. But when Sophie Cunningham answers a political question, she was asked, it's, quote, a distraction from the game and disgusting. When do we let our sports and media get so politically biased? We are being indoctrinated, and unfortunately, most of you are lapping it up. That's the comedian Jeff Dye. Absolutely. Absolutely. There are going to be people on here that's...
There's a legitimate double standard argument buried in here too. Plenty of prominent athletes across sports have spoken out on political and social topics and been widely praised for using their platform, while Cunningham, answering a direct question she was asked, gets called a distraction. That inconsistency in how athlete activism gets covered, depending on the position taken, is a real, fair media criticism point.
Going to happen. But the fact that so many people actually thought it was going to happen means Sophie Cunningham has gotten people to watch that even Caitlin Clark didn't pull in. You've got people paying attention that even Caitlin Clark didn't because of Sophie's message. She's brought in yet another crowd.
The speculation about how Clark personally votes or what she privately believes is exactly that. Speculation, not something she's stated publicly. It's worth separating clearly from the parts of this story that are actually confirmed, since guessing at a private citizen's politics isn't the same as reporting on what she's actually said on the record.
Tightening up. She's going to get more conservative. That happens to a lot of people. A lot of people. Oh, I'm younger. I'm more of a free thinker. Yada, yada, yada. You get older and you're like, nah, I'm not going for the nonsense. I'm going for the common sense. Caitlin Clark.
I think for us, it's not really a discussion we really have in our locker room. I think it's for leagues and the governing bodies to work with their athletes to find